at Done by Dorothy. We're here for day 11 of our 25 Days of Christmas Ephemera, the digital giveaway, and then we're doing the tutorials to go along with the giveaway. Thanks to each and every person, you know, who's stuck it out so far for the 11 days. 2 more weeks to go, guys. 14 days. At the end, you know, we're going to have our completed Christmas journal, and towards the end of today, you'll be able to see the flip through of what we've done so far. Again, thanks to each one. Thanks for each person who's posted in the Facebook group pictures you've completed. A shout out to Anne, because I know she has been spot on every day posting, so we appreciate you, Anne. Thanks a lot. All our links and everything will be in the description box below. How to contact us, the Facebook group, all that stuff. So without further ado, let's get going. Remember, you know, if you like junk journaling, if you're enjoying the tutorials, the free digitals, things like that, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, share on Facebook, you know, get it out there. Thanks so much for everybody who has been doing that. We have reached over 500 members, subscribers. One of those days. We have reached over 500 subscribers. We will be doing a giveaway for that, so stay tuned for that. So let's get going. So this is our digital for today. The really vintage little girls with the barn. I love this picture. It's one of my favorites. And then we've got just the simple green print. It almost looks like wallpaper, but it's got, let me turn it this way. It does have some birds and stuff in it. So there we go. So this is what we're going to be making today. We're going to be making this velvet tag in the back, and it's got the journaling spot. I only put my journaling spot halfway because I sort of wanted to leave the birds there. So very red and green, Christmassy. And then the little girl tag, and I love this one. It's so cute. And then again, our journaling spot on the back, and I love the way the bottom had the ribbon across the bottom. So, okay. So let me pull out our ephemera. Excuse me. That time of year, so my throat's all scratchy. I'm going to set this to the side. Let's start out with our girl. Okay, first thing we're going to do is you're going to need some vintage music paper. Let me grab that because I have a piece over here that I've been working with. And I'm going to be using art glitter glue. It dries clear. Really, really great. So I'm just going to glue this up. Let me make sure that make sure I'm staying over here where you guys can see me. Normally, when I do tags, I sew around the edges. But let's flip this around this way and do this from this end. Oh, I don't want to do it that way. I don't want it to be upside down. Let's do it this way. Normally, I sew around the edges and things like that. I haven't been because I'm doing this sort of as a beginner series. Although, I know some people have said, oh, you're far from a beginner on this. You know, we've sort of built up as we're going. But I know some people don't have sewing machines. I'm going to set that aside in my scrap pile. So I'm trying to sort of give alternatives if you don't have a sewing machine. So if you have a sewing machine, feel free to sew around the edges or whatever you want to do. I'm going to do a faux sewing technique today. So you can sort of see how I do that. And hold on, I'll pull the other one back over. But you can sort of see how it's got like the faux sewing around it. So from a distance, it looks, make sure I can get in camera there. Okay, so we have that. First off, let's cut our corners, and then I don't really use a guide when I'm doing that. I just sort of decide how I want the corner to be. Cut it off, and then I just flip it over, and I'm sure you guys, if you've watched any videos on junk journaling and doing tags and things like that, you've seen countless people do this. Then that way you know you're even, and then you can actually use these with the music on them for, you know, I'll throw them in my scrap box and use them for later. Okay, so one thing I do want to start out first is, I'm going to get my hole punch, and I want to, sorry, I got stuff sitting over here where I can get to it, and I actually had stuff in the way, I want to hole punch my hole so I know where it's at before it starts. I'm just going to estimate, sort of put it in the center. And this is just a standard basic, I mean, and this is really basic. It doesn't even have rubber handles. It just has plain, it's an office punch. It doesn't even have the guard on the thing to stop it. It's really, really old. This thing's probably 30 years old, so it's been around forever. So if you buy one of these, you can buy them extremely cheap. Just about any office supply store, Walmart, anything like that. These last forever, so it's well worth the money you buy to do your holes and your tags. Let me put my little stopper in my glue. Let me pull out my ink, and I'm going to be using Tim Holtz Ranger Distress Oxide and Vintage Photo, just because I like this sort of brass look that it gives it. And it looks really, really great on this card. And I'm just going to go, and I'm inking pretty heavy around the edges. You don't have to ink if you're not a heavy inker. You know, feel free to do your little light coat. This is just, on this specific card, I want it sort of heavier on the edges. And then we'll ink the back up. So I hope everybody's enjoying all the ephemera. I know it seems like we were getting a good reaction as far as people really enjoying, you know, of course people always enjoy freebies, but I'm not at my desk. Well, I'm in my craft room at my work table, but my files and stuff are at my desk. I don't want to get up and go get them while I'm doing this, because it's on the other side of the house. But I'm working on a set of digitals right now that are just absolutely, they're stunning. So we're going to have to end up doing something with those. So stay tuned. There will be more tutorials coming. Okay, so we've got that inked. So now I'm going to show you the faux technique I use. And it's pretty simple. And some people probably don't, you know, don't do it this way. And if you don't do it this way, you can do it by hand. I'm just anal about some things. This happens to be one of them. So I'm just going to take my ruler and I'm going to draw a really light colored line on all the edges, and I'm going 1/4 inch in. And it doesn't have to be straight. I'm just sort of using the ruler as a guide, but I'm not like stressing over whether it's completely straight, because, you know, if you've ever sewed anything on a sewing machine, then you know straight is not something that happens. So I'm just sort of gliding along and not even sort of trying to keep it straight, but not completely. Just going around the edge at 1/4 inch. Make sure you guys can see that. Am I? Yeah, I'm in frame. I'm working on adjusting my camera. So, okay. Oops. I didn't even take that all the way, so I'm just gonna, but, close enough. And you can erase these later on, so it's not stressing, although you really can't tell. There, let me put that to the side. And I'm using Sharpie markers, and this is actually, I don't know if this was a limited edition Sharpie set. I think I got it on clearance for like $6 or $7. And I'm going to use a brown, so any kind of brown Sharpie. I just keep mine in here because it's easier that way. And I have a 14-year-old daughter who loves anything art and anything marker. So if I keep them in there, it's easier for me to keep track of the fact she hasn't stolen any. And then I'm just going to take and just like, let me find a sample piece of paper here that I can show you on. I'll use my, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do this over large, but I'm just going to do dash lines. But I'm going to do them really small, like this. So it's going to have the look of like the thread popping through. And it's not a lot to it. Let me make sure I'm at, yeah. And I just sort of, and I mean, you can make them as long or as short as you want, depending on how long you want your, you know, your sewing lines to be. And I'm just following along. So that line just sort of helps me. It's not going to be like completely straight because, you know, you move them around. But it just sort of helps keep me on there. And it sort of looks, you know, by the time we get everything on there, it'll... But, you know, if you don't, I mean, some people don't know how to sew, or, you know, you just don't have the finances at the time to be able to buy a sewing machine, you know, or, you know, you don't have space in your craft room or in your house or whatever to have, you know, a sewing machine taking up space. You know, this does give you an alternative, and I mean, it doesn't, you can use different colors ink to, you know, match whatever color your tags are. I chose brown just because this does have a very brown vintagey feel. So, yeah, it's just, I just sort of like the look of it. Like I said, normally I sew, but, and I'm going to do some sewing tutorials, probably in the, you know, next year into the new year. I've been sewing since I was 8 years old, so, and was in 4-H as a child and took Grand Champion. I'm not going to worry about doing it on the back. I'm just going to do it on the front. So, you know, that's what it looks like. Now, just to offer, because some people don't like the lines, if you're a zigzag type person, you can do the crosses down the front. You can do a zigzag. And there are stamps that you can buy that have a zigzag. I actually have a zigzag stamp, but a lot of people may not have that. I actually bought mine at the Goodwill, so my stamp. So there you go. So there's that. So we've got that done. Okay, so this is a piece of our, that I made of the, when we did the washi ribbon. So I'm going to sort of size it up here because I don't want to waste any more of that than what I have to. Because that little piece I can use on something. Yes, I will use it on something. Okay, so I'm just going to pull my tape backing off. And this ribbon was a little bit wider because I put two of them side by side on my tape when I did my washi. So there was, it is a little loose on the top, and I sort of like that because it gives it that not more of like a glued look versus, it's, you know, it's been like taped down. And if you haven't seen, I'll link the DIY washi tutorial in the description box below. If you haven't seen it, awesome way to save some money. Or, you know, if you have something specific that you're going to do. I know I'm going to be working on a sewing journal in 2020, which seems like you say that and it sounds so funny, but it's really not that far away. Scary that it's not that far away. Okay, and then I'm just going to I'm going to punch, and I'm just going to estimate this. And I'm going to punch 2 holes, and I'll show you in just a second. I slide around. I just sort of estimate where I want it to be, or where it should be. That's probably a little... And I just put 2 holes in, sort of estimate where they're going to be. Let me get in my pile over here of my stuff I've got that I'm using. Well, isn't that amazing? As soon as you set something down, you lose it. Do you guys do that too? I think it's like a crafter thing. Okay. I just had it, and I put it in there so I wouldn't lose it. Let me find it. It's here. It's just a matter of looking. Well. Oh, there they are. See, I knew they were here. And then I'm going to put my hole reinforcers on. Oh, I'm going to have to make some more. Let me grab. Well, it's gonna be one of those days, guys. Okay, I can't find my other ones, so we're just gonna put the one at the top. We'll skip the ones at the bottom for now. I have another pack of them, but I'm in the middle of trying to clean my room, which doesn't always result in cleaning at first, so everything's sort of moved around right now. I'm trying to get it clean, my room, my craft room. Let me find, where did I put it? I just had it. You guys, it is seriously going to be one of those days. Okay. I have a whole spool of ribbon. How do you lose a spool of ribbon on a desk? Does anybody want to tell me that? Okay. Maybe that's... Really? It's a large spool too. Okay, you're gonna hear some raking around while I look for stuff, guys. Sorry. Aha. It was right there in easy sight. So I'm just gonna trim off some ribbon for the bottom. It doesn't need to be very big. But let me get back. Anyway, so I'm in the process of cleaning my craft room and everything. And in the new year, I want to do a sort of a tour of my craft room. It's not sensational. It's just a room in my house. But I want to do a tour of it. And I can, well, and that ribbon, if you want to, just so you have an estimate, it's approximately, I would say, if you cut 8.5 to 9 inches, you're going to be pretty good. And then I'm just going to take it over. I'm not tying a bow today, guys. Sorry, no bows today. And I'm just going to do a square knot and pull it. And then I'm going to come in, cut my ribbon on the diagonal, because it always a lot nicer. Okay, let me flip this around here. Then I'm going to just pull it tight. I'm just going to put my little ribbon at the bottom. Then I'm going to cut, again, I'll give you about 4 inches. I'm sorry, guys. It is that time of year, and my throat is really, really scratchy. I don't think it helps that we went from 50-degree weather to, like, in the teens last night, so gotta love the Midwest in the middle of winter. But I'm not complaining, because I could be in Canada, or, you know, with a bunch of snow right now. We have some, but not bad. Then I'm just going to pull it, and you can make, you know, your little taggy things at the top, your little ribbons as long or as short as you like. I like mine where they stick up a little bit, but they're not so overpowering that that's all you notice. So that's it. We got to do the back. So we've got our little ribbon across the bottom, which I think looks so cute. So I got, again, another piece of that scrap paper we've been using out of our boxes. And this, for whatever reason, didn't dye really good on that side, so I'm just gonna, and I just rip it randomly. If you're one of those people who, you know, doesn't like the ripping, I just made it worse. Let's just rip it off like this. That doesn't like the randomness, you know, then you can use a ruler and make it all square, you know, tear it square around it if you want. I'm just not there. You can use the tear ruler. I use a tear ruler sometimes if I'm doing a whole sheet, you know, just tearing out a little square. To me, it's sort of easier to just do it by hand. And I'm going to ink around here, and again, I'm going to ink these edges heavy, just because the nature of this tag. So, yeah, so I'm going to work on doing a room tour in the new year. So I'm in the middle of, you know, just sort of moving some stuff around because I want to redo it and sorting stuff. So, and you know, when you clean, it gets worse. So I've been trying to pull everything out, and I pulled everything out last night, but I set it all in a pile on the tape. Well, I pulled it out and had my daughter set it on a pile on the table for me, so I would have it. So it all sort of got just thrown on the table, because, well, you know how teenagers are. You gotta love them, even though they drive you crazy. Okay, so there we got our little journaling spot in the front with our faux sewing ribbon. And like I said, my little hole things, I don't know what in the world I did with them, so this one I'll put in mine. So, well, I know what I did with them, I just can't remember where I put them when I moved them. And I see them now. Ha! Of course I do. Okay. So, we're going to move to this one, and this one was our little velvet. And I've got my piece of my velvet ribbon cut. Now, I'm going to show you guys what this is, because I was at my Goodwill, and I got this for 25 cents. And it's a massive roll, and when I say massive, it's a huge roll. Super wide. And it's that old gold back velveteen ribbon from, like, oh, I don't even know if it says a year. No, it doesn't say a year on here, but it's pretty old. It's flocked polypropylene, and it's waterproof. It is strippable, so you can move it off there, but this is called Velproof. You do it like outside Christmas ribbons and stuff with it, is what it's for. But anyway, I got it at the Goodwill for 25 cents, so I thought it would be so cute. The only thing I don't like is the fact that everything and anything fiber sticks to it. Okay, so I'm going to lay it. I'm just going to, because I want it to be straight, obviously. So I'm going to line up one of the sides of my tag, and my tag is a little bit too big for it, so we're going to start to cut down, and I'm just going to draw a line across there so I know where to cut. And I'm going to cut the small piece. You can just throw in to use later. I am keeping this because we're going to use it in a little bit. Okay, so there's that. So then I'm going to ink it up, and I'm going to use Fabri-Tac because, you know, I want something that's going to make it stick. Put it around the edges. Excuse me. And this is sort of a plastic backed ribbon, so it is goofy when you try to glue on it. Then I'm just going to line up my ribbon to my tag. And if we have to trim it up a little bit, you know, that's not a problem. And even though I, you know, used and measured it, it'll still be goofy because, you know, so I'm just going to trim all the ribbon off there. Let me get it out of the way. Again, I apologize for my throat. But Christmas isn't going to stop just because you got a sore throat. Then I'm just going to trim this along the edges, the excess of that paper. You throw that in your little scrap box. And then I'm actually going to trim this up a little bit more over here where I didn't go right up against it. Got a little crooked. There we go. Just going to ink it up. And I'm even inking on there because I want to make sure that that, you know, white from the side doesn't show through. So I'm going to hit this side too. And we can clean off all the fibery scrapness in a little while. And then I'm going to do the back. So that to the side. Now I'm going to go ahead and rip my journaling spot I'm going to put on the back here. And I actually think I'm going to use that because I sort of like the fact that that's ripped like that. It's going to show more of the design. I'm not, let's see. Let me edge this up a little bit because I can use this on another. I just want an oddball. I think I want to just a wee bit. I just want a little bitty journaling spot so you can write something on there. Sometimes those little bitty spots, you know, make such a big difference. You know, just a word, or if you're maybe a scripture or a poem. You know, a lot of times a word for the day, like, you know, people use that. So I'll put that over there and sort of kind of put my lid on it because it's one that likes to glue the top to it all the time on me. And again, this is art glitter glue. Paper on paper, I always use art glitter glue. Put it over here so I get some of that tree, and I'm just going to put it to this, sort of to the side. So I get a little bit of those birds up there, but I get a little bit of the tree on the side too. But it gives you a small journaling spot. Let me put this back on. Okay. Okay. So I know in the corner, maybe, in the corner is where I want to put my little, you know what, I want to do this one different. Let's trim the corner because I want to take the 4 corners off. So let me do that. Then I'm going to hole punch, and you may have to, if you use the velveteen type ribbon, you'll probably have to do it a time or two and then trim it up with your scissors, because for whatever reason that plasticky gold just doesn't want to come off there once you do it. Okay, then take my corner. Let's see how this went on, like this. Yep. So I'm gonna take my corner and trim all of my corners, which I should have done before I inked, but hey, you know, that would have been too simple. And I decided to cut the corners just because I think it just sort of adds a little bit, and I sort of wanted that sort of an elegant, Victorian elegant look to it. So let me put this over here. I'll ring my corners, and it doesn't take a whole lot of time to buzz through here and ring these. And you know, you can put the back on there before you ink it if you want. It didn't really bother me one way or the other when I was going through the process. And I'm only going to put that on the front because I have that one hole. Of course, the other ones are over there, but they're not inked either yet. So, oh, I could show you how I do that, I guess. Hold on. Let me pause it just for a second. I'll be right back. Okay. I'm back, and I got a page of my hole reinforcers. Let me make sure I'm up here where you can see me. And, oh, one of them peeled off. I hate when they do that. I'm just going to turn my ink over. And watch your hands, or your hands will be covered. Oh, you know what? Let me lay down. And I just sort of take my ink pad, sort of scrape it like that, and get it on there. Then I get my, and I just sort of, as I push down, I spin it, and it sort of helps spread that around. And, you know, I sort of like dabbing it as I do it, because when I do it almost creates like a, well, more of like a manila, like if you remember the old, not the, or the craft file folders sort of had like that fibery look. It sort of gives it more of a fibery look, I think. So, there you go. So, now we'll put one on the back. There you go. Okay. So, let me find my fibers over here. I have them thrown everywhere. Okay, so I'm going to cut, you know, a little small piece, about a 4-inch piece or so. And this is just some, like, old, it was a wedding dress trim from, like, the 70s. Well, you can even see where it's got sort of the stains in it and stuff. It's really old. It actually, a friend of mine, her mom passed away about 3 or 4 years ago, and she sewed and had tons and tons of stuff, but none of them sew or anything, so her husband got a hold of me, and because he knew I sewed all the time, and wanted to know if I wanted her sewing supplies, and I was like, yeah, sure. So that's actually, it was in her stuff from a wedding dress that she had made in the late 70s. Well, I mean, she had it before then, but that's what it was from. So, let me get it there. Every once in a while, it gets all twisted in there when you go to do it. Thanks for everybody who's been, you know, like viewing the premieres when I premiere. Really appreciate that. Sort of gives me some feedback, you know, when you guys are reacting live about what you think. And again, you see all those little fibers sticking, so I'll wipe those off when I get done. And then here's a little applique from the same wedding stuff. So I'm just going to sort of trim it up here, chop it up. Cut it into pieces because I want to put one off the corner because I think it just, I like the way it looks off the corner. So let's glue it down. Again, we're doing applique on the velvet, so I'm going to use, anytime I use lace or anything like that, I try to use Fabri-Tac. Sticky that it is. Let me make sure I'm up here where you guys can see. Keep moving everything around. And then I'm just going to put this sort of in the corner, but sort of off the corner. Rid of all my Fabri-Tac strings because I put the lead of my pencil down when I did that, just so you guys know. And you have to be really, really careful because if you scratch too hard with the glue on there, it'll take the velvet right off the top of the ribbon. Okay, so there's that. Then I'm going to put this bottom piece, because we don't want to waste anything, off the bottom corner. It's about time to buy another bottle. I usually try to have 2 or 3 bottles, but I got myself down to 1, which is crazy. And then I'm going to put some of this, I'll let it dangle off the corner at the bottom there, just to give it a little bit of, you know, off-tag texture. I don't know if that's a word. If it's not, then I just made it up, but there we go. Okay, then I have this little piece that I cut off remember when we straightened it up? So I'm going to just cut this off where it's even. I'm going to eyeball that. And then I'm going to use this. Throw that little sliver away. I'm going to make, I actually want this little, it's a little crooked, but I'm going to cover it up so it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to go from one side to the other. And I just want to put that gold facing up, just to add a little pop of color in there. Make sure I'm in camera. Okay. Then, want a little scrap of music. So we're really using a lot of this book, and I want to use where a lot of the music is, because there's little designs like that. And it doesn't matter if it's straight or not. I'm just going to ink this up. Ink those edges up. It makes such a difference, don't it? I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac because it's sticking on that sort of vinyl back of that. I'm not sure how it would do. So I'm just going to stick it down, you guys. I'm going to keep a little bit of the gold sticking out. There we go. Fabri-Tac. Okay, there's that. Then I have this little oddball piece of, yeah, I think I'll keep that like that. Everything else is rounded, so I think I'll keep it a little square. I'm gonna ink it up real fast. There's some glue on there. I'm going to put the straight side over here. I'm going to sort of lay it out. Let's put it right there. Okay, then I have my little bitty, I don't know if you guys can see this. It's a little bitty cardinal with a little lamp post and a little ribbon. I have these. I bought one of the Christmas card boxes that have like they have like a whole variety of Christmas cards. And I had this, and I love the red bird. I thought about cutting the red bird out, but I didn't really want it. But I looked on the back, and it was the little square picture on the back. So I just cut it out. So we're going to ink it up. And because it's so, you can see like all the white with the snow and stuff, I want to age it some. So I'm going to ink over the top too. I'm not going to cover it. I'm just going to real lightly, just barely letting it hit on the top, just sort of darken it up just a wee bit so it's not that stark white, so you get more like that vintage look. Can you guys see that? Yep. Okay, so the little gold piece that we had, oh yuck, my glue bubbled everywhere. I love Fabri-Tac. It's a love-hate relationship, we'll just put it that way. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it don't like the way it, I'm wiping the glue off my fingers. Okay, so I'm just going to put this sort of in the corner where it's square and square it up, and just going to make a little gold frame around. Can you guys see that? Am I in the frame? Yep. I gotta get used to my camera being where it's at now, so it moved my... Okay, well, I need to straighten this up first of all. Okay, then I'm just going to cut my little frame, and I'm not going to worry about it being perfect. Hopefully it'll be close to perfect. Okay. So it just framed our little gold, our bird in the little gold, if you guys can see it. Hopefully that, You guys can see that? Hopefully it focused in. It's goofy sometimes. Then I'm just going to glue it up. Put my lid back on my... What it is my... I've only got about a quarter of my jar left, so it starts goobing out the top. Okay, and then I'm just going to put this sort of in the middle because I want the music to show, but I want the paper to show on the side too. And that little gold frame just does, well, I gotta pick all the fibers off. I'll do that when I get the glue off my fingers, but so you guys can see. So you get your little tabby and your little applique. So you got your journaling spot on the back. Oh, wrong one. And you got your little tag with your girls on it. Flip it over. Cover my ink up, get it over the way. Let me move this out of the way. Let me pull out my Christmas books. Okay, so let's find the perfect spot. I actually want to put something in here, but I don't want to. You know what I think? I'm going to put our little tag in there because I think that just sort of will stick through there really cute. And our little... Oh, let me go through here and erase my pencil marks. Sometimes you have to, sometimes you don't have to. When I did my very first one, I didn't even have to do that because I did it real light. I must have pushed harder there. I'm actually... no, I don't want to put that behind. I'm thinking I'm going to put this... You know what? I think I will. So just slide this in there. And the tag there. So let's start from the beginning. We got that in the front. Our clip. Our bird tag. It's so cute. I love those gold feathers. Little pocket with our little girl tag. Little paper clip. We got our envelope with our big tag. With our glittered window. That was probably one of my... I loved making that. That was so fun. I'll tell you, it just gives you... And our little faux stamp on it. It's back on there. Then our faux picture frame. Our little... Make sure I'm over where you can see a little note card. Then in here... Got our journaling tag, a little journaling card, and our washi book. And a little pocket. Over here we've got our little birdie book. And a little card. And you know what, guys? What did we... So yesterday we made that. And our flip. And I forgot. You guys should have reminded me. Nobody even caught it. We forgot to stamp our day 9. 10. Let's say 7, 8. Yes, we've already did 9. Our day 10. What day are we on, guys? We're on 11, right? Yes, we're on day 11. So we forgot to stamp our 10 yesterday. Let me find the 10. So let's go ahead and do that really fast while we're in here. Make sure I get all the gluey junk off of it. Okay. So let's do that on the corner of... Let me make sure you're over here where you can see. So to make sure we do our number 10. Link it up fairly well. course, I picked the spot where the button is. There we go. There we go. Good enough for government work. Okay. And this is in mine, so if it's, let's grab the other one out and stamp it. Well, let's go ahead and put this tag in here. Let's go ahead and we'll stamp our 11. Then I'll go back to that. I can do it later. Let's see, where is 11 at? 1, 16, 13, 11. Oh, how cute. This one's a little Christmas bell bulb. Let me wipe it off really fast. Ink it up. Try to ink it up really good. And it's a cute little bulb, so we'll actually, let's put it over to the side, hanging from the top, I guess. Can you guys, am I in screen at all, guys? I'm sorry. Okay. Let me ink it up again. I think I was trying to move while I was inking. It didn't come out really well. One thing nice about clear acrylic blocks, because if I had a Misty, I wouldn't have to worry about that, would I? They have to get me one. Okay, it didn't come out really well. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach in here in my jar that I have all my stuff in. I'm trying to find my black Sharpie. That's gray. Aha, my black Sharpie. My little fine tip Sharpie pen. And I'm just going to darken in where the 11's at. And this is part of the 25 days set from Stampin' Up. Okay, so we have that. Let's find a place to put it. Let's, I don't want to really put it back there. Let's see, do we have a spot in our, you know, let's hide it over here with this one right now. Okay, so, okay, start again from the beginning, guys. So we got the front, which is, if you're new, it's a little booklet. It's got a little journaling spot in the back too. It's from day one. Their bird, little kid, and it's all covered where you can journal on the back. I'm not going to open the envelope because we've seen what was in the envelope in our frame. So we've seen this in our pocket. A little birdie book and our card there. We've got our tag we just put in there. And our photo mats that you can flip over to put photos on. So you can have photos in your Christmas album because everybody loves photos. Of course, we have the tag we just made. We got our little birdie tag. That was day 9. I loved the little birdie set. Then we have our little mini journal in there. Little card, this little notebook paper. Little journaling tag spot. Little journaling book. Flip it open, you can journal on the back. There's that. Here we got a journaling card again. A little notepad. Of course, we have our concertina that opens all the way up with the journaling spots on the front and back. Our little flip out. Our little notepad. Have our altered paper clip and our postcard. So, we are getting it. Again, I apologize for having to search for my stuff today. And I promise it won't be like that tomorrow. And we actually have two because we have our prototype, which was the one we just looked at was actually our prototype one. And then this is our finished one. And so most of it's the same. Some of it's a little different, but not a lot. You know, I actually think I'm going to put this tag over here on just to add a little bit of pop of color there. Let's see. And this went, we put this in here, didn't we? And then, like, see, this has the sparkle. So they have different, so that goes right in there. So that is done. And I know we reached our 500 subscribers. And I think what I've decided to do is I was going to give, obviously I was going to give one of my journals, one of the Christmas journals away. So then I'm going to use it for my 500 subscriber giveaway. We're going to do it. And, so we'll end up dividing it into signatures when we get it all finished. So we're day 11 of 25. So we got 14 more days to go. We will be back again tomorrow with day 12. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow with day 12. So we will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Again, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for everybody who popped in for the premiere. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to watch us. Thanks to everybody just for your support. You guys have been absolutely great. So you guys have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow for day 12. Thanks for sticking it out with us for the 25 days of Christmas. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.